What is up, you guys? We are here at trackside and the snow is flying, which can really only mean one thing. It's a new sled day. So we are picking up my new sled for this season. I am so stoked on this thing. It's the all-new Freeride in yellow. Yes, I went with yellow. I think a lot of people went with black this year, but I am stoked to see how this thing comes together. Got a pretty sweet wrap and a ton of other parts to put on this thing. It's gonna be looking completely different at the end of this video, you guys. And then we're gonna take it out on the snow when it's all said and done and get some break-in miles on it. Jack is over at the shop right now diving into his sled. He's got a little bit different plan for what he plans to do with his this year, which is gonna be pretty unique. So we'll definitely check in with him when we get over there, but stoked to dive into these things and completely transform them into the machines they're gonna be for the rest of the winter. First order of business on this machine here, as you can see, I couldn't help myself. I just had to start wrapping it. This is definitely the biggest visual transformation that you're gonna see on both of our sleds. Jack has begun to start wrapping his too. And really the reason we do that is because there's gonna be the bumpers that go on over the top of the wrap, and this is definitely just the first step. Kind of cutting to the machine though that I got here for this year. This is a 146 NA Freeride, it's a 2025. Same thing that I had last year. Obviously the new Freerides though came with the rack steering, which is pretty cool. So excited to see how that helps the handling of the sled and some of the steering and feedback through the skis. So on the wraps here, as we're getting into it, you'll see the Arctic Effects really dialed in some of the Pantones here. They match this flare yellow like perfectly, which I'm stoked about. I didn't know, if it doesn't match quite right, it doesn't look right either. So I'm stoked at how this turned out. And they even threw in this cool Season 10 logo in our wraps. These things are looking sweet. Can't wait to get the back half on here.
All right, we've got a nice care package here from out east. The crew at Backwoods B&P hooking it up as always with the best protection parts in the game. So we're gonna completely dial these sleds in with Backwoods products, front bumper, rear bumper, big wheels, and new this year is the rail braces. So we've never had good luck with stock rails, like whatsoever. I myself have always been known to bend stock rails almost instantly. So we've been looking for a good rail brace instead of having to swap to full rails. It'd be really nice to just be able to brace the stock ones. So we're excited to check those out this year, but looking at this box here, it looks like we've got front bumpers. My sled's gonna be white this year, so I'm thinking this one's mine. Bumpers and grab bars in this box, and I think we're gonna have some other goodies in the other box. So let's get into that. The first order of business on my sled is bumpers. The stock rear bumper didn't last a single wheelie. I took this sled out for a break-in rip up in the UP, and the bumper literally tacoed on the first wheelie in the ditch. So installed the Backwoods B&P rear and installed the front. As you can see, there is not much to these stock bumpers. Don't just take my word for it. Last year we put them to the test side by side when we were out at the Backwoods shop after we rode the East Coast. And we did some durability testing with a log that we hung from the ceiling and swung into the front bumper of the Skidoo, Polaris, and Arctic Cat. We compared stock to Backwoods, and there was some carnage, so go check that out. But you can see here the way this bolts up to the machine. It's a lot stronger than stock, but it's got design shear points to not transfer all that energy into your bulkhead. So these are definitely a must on all the stock sleds because frankly, none of the stock bumpers are adequate. So my machine that I ordered this year is a 2025 Freeride 146 Turbo. I ordered a 146 Turbo last year and I didn't think it was gonna be the most practical snowmobile. I didn't think I'd even ride it that much. But turns out it was a ton of fun. Like the track speed that they generate is just insane. It makes for some really cool riding, especially in the springtime in the mountains. But for the deeper part of the season, I wanted to run a longer track. So I'm making the swap from a 146 rear suspension to a 154 under that short tunnel. I think it's gonna work really well. We've got some Backwoods big wheels here. It looks like 10-inch big wheels, that is, all billet. So I'm gonna pull the skid, swap the rails out, swap the track, and extend this thing out to a 154. I think it's gonna be really sweet. getting into the skid here and getting things situated. You can see how unsubstantial these stock rear wheels are, but look at this. The spacer here is already cracked. I mean, 100 miles on this sled, and we're already seeing failures of the stock parts, which, you know, if this wheel gets out of alignment, it could blow apart and then tear up your track, and you're looking at thousands in damage and a ruined day. So definitely cool to replace all that with billet parts. We're gonna be taking things to the next level with the suspension in these sleds this year. That's to come in a future video. I wish we had the stuff with us right now to make it happen. But in the meantime, I'm going with this setup. This is backwoods rail braces on 154 rails that I had laying around from a previous sled. So as you can see, these rail braces just bolt right over the top. There's no drilling required, which is super nice. It uses all the stock holes, and this should add a ton of strength and rigidity to the skid. Plus the 10-inch wheels is gonna add a nice radius on the back, make it more playful and a bit bigger sweet spot when wheeling, and also easier to back up. Plus less rolling resistance, just being a bigger wheel. We made the track swap over to the 154 track. This is actually a 16 wide too, which will be pretty cool under the Freeride. The Freeride comes with a 15 wide. So I also had to change drivers. The 146 comes with an 8-tooth driver stock, and it's a 286 pitch. Now, the 286 is kind of nice for a crossover track because being a little bit narrower of a pitch, there's less vibration on the trail. Bigger driver, more teeth. It's a little bit smoother of a crossover, but it doesn't do as well in the deep, deep snow. Having more space between those lugs has proven to be a benefit in the mountain. So this 3.5-inch pitch, 3-inch lug 154 track under this thing, I think is gonna work really well. The tunnel will be a little bit shorter than your average 154, which should allow for maximum snow clearance out the back and maximum playfulness for doing bow ties, stuff like that. I expect it to just jump right out of the snow, but I'm excited to get this suspension back in and see what it looks like. With the driver change, you are changing the gear ratio too. So I went ahead and looked up online, just use a gear ratio calculator tool. You plug in your pitch and tooth of driver, your gear ratio. That'll give you a ballpark of where you need to be in terms of final gear ratio. Now, I'll still have to play with the clutching a bit because this is changing things up a little bit with that final gear ratio. So I'm excited to get the suspension bolted back in and see what it looks like sitting back on the ground here. The wraps are done and these sleds are coming to life. I'm so stoked to see how mine turned out. I've never done a white sled before. I've actually purposely avoided white in wraps, but this year, I'm like, we're going all out white. I'm thrilled to see what the final product looks like after mocking this up on the Arctic FX website. They've got a great tool for doing that where you can customize the stock colors and then see what the wrap looks like over the top. Now, our Nation of Riders wrap has like 9 different customizable colors, which equals like millions of possibilities. And then you've got the finish options too, like the matte chrome, prismatic chrome. You can put metallic flake in it, you can put halo flake in it. There's so many different options. It's really cool to make the sled completely your own. And you get some protection on the tunnel and panels and everything from the wrap being over the top. So cool to see these things come together. I can't wait to see what they look like on the snow. We're getting there, but we've got a few more things to do. Dylan's working on some protection parts right now, and then I think he's gonna move on to the control side of things. I'm gonna open up a couple more boxes and see what we got from Fire and Ice. So let's get into it. This is the Fire and Ice secondary clutch knee vent protector. This is a super easy upgrade. You can just rivet it on over the stock secondary clutch vent. These seem to break super easily on the Gen 5. This adds a lot more rigidity being that it's a metal frame and it's got 2 different densities of screen, which really help keep the snow out so you're avoiding all belt slippage. So we're gonna rivet this on. Super easy install, just takes a couple of minutes.
All right, you guys, we are down to the final box, and arguably the most important box. What we've gotten here are some handlebars from RSI Racing and some bar risers too. along with some seat covers I see right on top. That's pretty sick. So I got my bumper done and I had my hood off because of all of that. So it just made sense to jump right into the handlebars. It's just so important to be able to get your cockpit dialed into you and what's comfortable, because you're gonna ride that much better throughout the day. So the stock stuff, it's too tall for me, and frankly the handlebars are a little bit weak, they will bend. So we're gonna be replacing them with some beefier ones here from RSI. This year, decided to go with the Boondock handlebars. These have an 1.125" inside diameter on the clamps, so that is definitely a lot stouter than stock. They have a 13-degree sweep back, 2-inch rise, and yeah, these things are gonna be great. I'm excited to give these a shot. Jack ran these all last season. So we've got some risers here. Last year I started out the season running the 1.25", and they were just a little bit too low for me. I'm 6'2", so this year I decided to go with the 2-inch, which I tried out at the end of the season last year, and definitely more comfortable. So they've got all the options. Depending on how tall or short you are, you can definitely fit these things in to fit exactly where you need them to.
After many hours of wrenching here in the shop, a lot of smiles and laughs and a little bit of frustration and bloody knuckles, we're sitting pretty good to go take these things for a ride in the UP tomorrow. These sleds turned out better than I could have imagined, and they're pretty close to being done. There's a few things that we have to do yet that'll be coming in a future video. This sled behind me is getting entirely new front suspension, A-arms, spindles, shocks, and even skis, and they're both getting entirely new rear suspensions too, complete skids. We can't wait to show you guys what we're up to there. One cool thing that I was just checking out here in the shop is the CNA Pro mock-up tool. I'm gonna be running some CNA Pro TMX skis on this sled. We had the chance to ride those for a day last year, and I was super impressed. And they've actually got a 3D tool where you can use your phone's camera to mock up what the ski looks like. So we're gonna get those ordered up and then probably pick them up on our way out west, go check out the factory and see what it's like to maybe even make our own skis. So checking that out right now is super cool, so we know exactly what we're getting and what they're gonna look like on the sled. That's it for tonight. We're exhausted. We're gonna load these things up and then we're heading north tomorrow. It's been snowing down here all day, so hopefully they got some fresh up north for us to go ride these things in. So we're gonna clean things up in the shop here, load these sleds up on the Dura Deck, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm stoked to see what these things got. There isn't all that much for snow up here. I think it might have even been a little bit better a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. But it's still gonna feel good to stretch the legs on the sled a little bit, see how these refinements we've made perform out there, and at least get a preliminary idea of what these things are gonna be like.
It's so cool to be up here and see all the snowmobilers buzzing around. There's enough snow to be able to ride trail sleds up here. Granted, it is hard probably in the woods where we're gonna be trying to ride, but there's still enough base, and it's great to see snowmobilers doing their thing in the heartbeat of the snowmobile industry, which is the Midwest here. So it's pretty sweet. We're stoked to finally spin these tracks and see what these sleds look like out in the snow for real.
And it's like the first day we've seen the sun in a couple of weeks.
True, yeah.
It has been snowing on and off quite a bit up here, but warming up too, but all still being kind of cloudy. So the sky's broken up, we've got some blue sky, and we're gonna go get after it.
Gotta leave town, got another appointment. Spent on my rent, girl, you know I enjoyed it, yeah. And gonna hang around till there's nobody dancing. I wanna hold hands and talk about our little plans, alright.
Well, the sled report is good. These things are badass. The snow report, however, it's bad. It's kind of booty up here right now. What went from being like bars deep POW has consolidated into a pretty good base, but it's sketchy out here.
Can't really do much other than just some power wheelies and some jumps, but it's fine. It's our first ride up here. This thing's got almost 11 miles on it now. We're having a good time and making the most of it.
Absolutely. The trails look incredible for you trail riders out there.
Yeah.
It is on up here. It looks like mid-season conditions. Off trail, the base is there. We need another good storm or so to make it all out riding. The 154 is definitely overkill for what we've got going on right now, but I think this thing's gonna eat once we get out west after the new year. How's the 146 feeling?
The 46 is a handful up here. This thing is hooking with the 2.5-inch track. It's crazy. Like half throttle wheelies, you almost flip this thing over backwards, but it's a lot of fun. I think in deep snow up here, this thing's gonna be a hoot for sure.
Dude, it stands up so fast. Like this one takes a little bit to get into it, especially with the weights that I'm running to keep the R's in check.
Yeah.
For me, it seems like I'm just like power wheeling and get up to like 40, 50 miles an hour and it's sketch. Yours just pops up so instantly.
Yeah.
This is the type of snow that you break stuff on. Like, I'm not even gonna try a bow tie. I wanna do one back there, but you'll end up washing out, rolling over, bending your handlebars, busting your intake. It's been cool to test out the suspension for sure, and we're definitely putting the rail braces through their paces on this icy stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I think we've got a little jump behind us here that might be fun to session. So we're gonna try that out and then continue seeing what we can find and then wrap it up back at the Mosquito. If you're heading up north here to ride, hit us up. We're gonna be around quite a bit throughout the holiday season and then pretty much all of February too. Hopefully we get some good snow up here. That's a wrap. Not much of a riding segment for this video, but it is what it is. Early season conditions here. There is a good base on the ground, so we're encouraged. I mean, one more storm and it's gonna be game on. As you can see, we got the sleds loaded up. We got the Polaris cover on the Skidoo just so nobody thinks about taking it. We're gonna go inside here to the old Mosquito Inn, a classic under new ownership and seemingly in really good hands, and have a bite to eat. I actually see Dylan's old sled over there right now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Which means that our friend Rob might be inside. So we're gonna go inside, grab a burger here, and then hit the road home. As soon as they get more snow, we will be back up here and we will film another video. Keep you guys updated on the conditions. And then we're heading west after the new year. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
How you doing?